In the heart of the vast Egyptian desert, rising majestically from the sands of time, stands one of the world's most iconic and enduring mysteries, the Great Pyramid of Giza. A monument that has captivated the human imagination for millennia, this architectural marvel is not just a testament to the ingenuity of the ancient Egyptians, but a repository of secrets, enigmas, and symbolism that continue to baffle and bewitch us to this day. How did the Egyptians manage to construct such an awe-inspiring structure with the tools and knowledge of their time? What purpose did the Great Pyramid truly serve? Are there hidden chambers and concealed passages yet to be discovered within its massive stone walls? The Giza pyramids, built on a rocky plateau on the west bank of the Nile River close to Al-Jazar in northern Egypt, are 3 pyramids dating back to the 4th dynasty. They were formerly listed as one of the 7 wonders of the world. The ancient remnants of the Memphis area were listed on the UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1979. These monuments included the pyramids of Giza, Accra, Dahshur, Abu-Ruwais, and Abu. The names of the pyramids, Khufu, Chofra, and Menkaure, are all references to the pharaohs who commissioned their construction. Khufu, the 2nd emperor of the 4th dynasty, commissioned the construction of the group's oldest and most northern pyramid specifically for his own use. The Great Pyramid, the largest of the 3, has a starting height of 481.4 feet and an average base length of 755.75 feet. It is known by its full name, the Pyramid of Cheops. The construction of the Middle Pyramid, which at one time reached a height of 471 feet, took place at the request of Chofra, the 4th of the 8 monarchs who ruled during the 4th dynasty. Its length and width are, respectively, 707.75 and 707.75 feet. Menkaure, the 5th king of the 4th dynasty, was responsible for the construction of the southernmost and most recent pyramid. The completed height of the structure is 218 feet, and each side is 356.5 feet long. During ancient and medieval times, each of the 3 pyramids was ransacked and pillaged, both on the inside and the exterior. As a consequence of this, the grave goods that were originally put inside the burial chambers have been removed, and the pyramids have almost totally lost their smooth white limestone exterior casings. Take, for instance, the Great Pyramid of Giza, which is just 451.4 feet in height today. The outside limestone casing of Chofra's tomb has been preserved in just the highest section. A mortuary temple was constructed adjacent to each pyramid, and it was linked to a valley temple that was located on the edge of the Nile floodplain by a causeway that sloped downward. There were more subsidiary pyramids in the surrounding area where further members of the royal family were buried. It is possible that the Pyramid of Khufu is the greatest edifice that has ever been built on our planet. The sides of it are exactly aligned with the 4 cardinal points of the compass, rising at an angle of 51 degrees and 52 feet. The limestone blocks that make up the Great Pyramid's interior passages and finer, lighter color pieces make up the Great Pyramid's main burial chamber, which is fashioned out of massive granite stones. The external casing of the Great Pyramid is almost totally gone. The center of the pyramid is made up of chunks of limestone that have a yellowish hue. It took around 2.3 million stone blocks to be cut, transported, and assembled in order to create this wonder of engineering and technological expertise that weighs 5.75 million tons. In comparison to the joints seen in other ancient Egyptian masonry, the joints found in the internal walls and the few stones that remain in place of the outer casing are much finer. The entrance to the Great Pyramid may be found on its northern face, at a height of about 59 feet above the surface of the ground. From that point, a sloped tunnel descends into the interior masonry of the pyramid. After passing the rocky earth that supports the structure, the tunnel emerges into a subterranean chamber that is only partially finished. A huge, sloping gallery that is 151 feet in length branches out of the descending corridor. This gallery connects to the ascending corridor that leads to the Queen's Chamber. The entrance to the real burial chamber, which is also referred to as the King's Chamber on occasion, is located at the very top of this gallery and is a long and tight hallway. The walls and ceiling of this room are completely constructed out of granite. it is not quite apparent whether or not the two tiny shafts that emerge from the chamber and penetrate obliquely through the masonry to the outside of the pyramid were designed for ventilation, or whether or not they had some other religious purpose. Massive horizontal granite slabs act as dividers between the 5 chambers that are located above the king's chamber. The most likely reason for these slabs' existence was to protect the burial chamber ceiling from the powerful forces produced by the masonry masses above. The building of the pyramids has never been fully explained, and there is no evidence to support any one theory. The theory that the Egyptians utilized a surrounding embankment built of brick, soil, and sand that got longer and taller as the pyramid rose is the most plausible explanation. Levers, sledges, and rollers were used in the process of hauling stone blocks up the ramp. According to the ancient Greek historian Herodotus, the construction of the Great Pyramid required the efforts of 100,000 men over the course of 20 years. If one considers that the agricultural workers who constructed the pyramids did entirely at periods when there was nothing to be done in the fields because the Nile River was flooded, then this number makes sense. However, during the latter part of the 20th century, archaeologists unearthed evidence that suggests the site may have been continually manned by a smaller crew, rather than being maintained seasonally time, as was previously believed. It was speculated that the task might have been completed with as few as 20,000 workers, including support personnel, if only they had been employed. The Great Sphinx may be found to the south of the Great Pyramid, next to the temple dedicated to Chufra in the valley. A sculpture made of limestone, the Sphinx is about 240 feet in length and 66 feet in height. It has the head and facial features of a man, but the body of a lion in a reclining position. A pit burial that held the relocated funeral items of Khufu's mother, Queen Hetephes, was discovered in 1925 at the upper end of Khufu's causeway. This discovery took place in 1925. The empty tomb of the queen was found at the bottom of a deep pit that was filled with stones. The furniture and gems that surrounded it served as evidence of the 4th dynasty craftsmen's extraordinary creative genius and technical prowess. Vast fields of mastabas, or tombs with flat tops, surround the 3 pyramids. These tombs are arranged in a grid arrangement. The officials of the monarchs, as well as their families, were buried in the mastabas. Several mastabas dating back to the 5th and 6th dynasties, in addition to the core mastabas dating back to the 4th dynasty, have been found in close proximity to and mixed in with the earlier structures. During the late 1980s and early 1990s, excavations were carried out in the areas around the pyramids. These excavations unearthed the communities of the laborers, which included small tombs for the artisans and workers, as well as bakeries, workshops, and storage rooms. Based on the mud ceilings, the workshop parts seem to have been constructed in the late 4th dynasty. Among the tombs are structures ranging from simple domes built of mud bricks to highly elaborate stone ones. The names of the deceased were occasionally written in hieroglyphics on the walls of the tombs, which were found in many of the structures. The statuettes were found in numerous buildings. The legacy of the Great Pyramid is one that continues to shape our understanding of the past, while its enduring secrets keep us humbled by the mysteries of ancient civilizations. We invite you to continue exploring the wonders of our world, to question the narratives of history, and to remain inquisitive about the mysteries that still await discovery. Please like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more captivating explorations of history and the enigmas that continue to captivate our curiosity. Thank you for joining us on this extraordinary voyage through time, as we uncover the enduring legacy of the Great Pyramid of Giza.